For the first time in 5 seasons, I've committed to a change in tactics and then celebrated by winning my first ever Premier League Manager of the Month award. My learning point from this is that for true success with Ipswich, I obviously need to go back to my old Tinkerman ways. Hello and welcome to Season 13, Episode 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have an away game against Arsenal in the Premier League, and then our final Champions League group game against Paris Saint-Germain, although we have already qualified from the group, as have PSG. So we'll focus on the Premier League. It's been going quite well. As I mentioned in the intro, I've won a Manager of the Month award, and it all started with a change in tactics. I think you were last with me for the defeat against Dynamo Kiev, and off the back of that and conceding a late goal against Aston Villa in the Premier League game that we drew 1-1, I finally committed to the diamond. So for the last 3 games we've been playing Fritsche as an anchorman, and we've also pushed the 2 fullbacks on. In fact, let me show you. We've pushed the 2 fullbacks on to be complete wingbacks to get them even more involved further forward, with Fritsche sat there basically dropping back as a third defender most of the time. And just acting as a buffer. We've done it for the 3 games now, and we've won all 3 of them. Firstly, we beat Derby 2-0, which, we should have beaten Derby anyway, but then we beat Valencia 2-1 in the Champions League, and then the most impressive performance so far, we beat Manchester City 2-1 in the Premier League, which means in the Premier League now it's looking a lot healthier than it was in our last episode. We're up to 6th place on 24 points. We're only 4 points behind Arsenal in 4th. And we've got a game in hand over Man City and Newcastle, who are in 3rd and 5th. So it's starting to look like Champions League qualification might be realistic. But obviously, in order to push on with that, we need to beat Arsenal today, who are in 4th place. And we could be within 1 point of them if today's match goes to plan. So the tactic that we're using, as I say, it's just a slight tweak. I've not changed any of the team instructions or anything other than the instructions for Fritsche and the 2 fullbacks. But this is the team that we're going to be playing. So it's Matt Lee in goal, a back 3 of Leach, Dane, Zabala and Lazarov. Fritsche sits in front of them as the anchor man, with Chris and Yusuf in central midfield. And then Vaughan behind Larsio and Full. Christian Aaron is fit-ish again. He's not match fit yet. He's made a couple of substitute appearances, not done anything special since he's been back, and he's taking forever to get back to match fitness. Interestingly, Arsenal are actually interested in him as well. For me to even consider selling him, they're going to have to offer 60-70 million pounds, so the chances of him going there are fairly unlikely. But it's interesting that it's still less than a year since he returned to the club from Bayern Munich for only £10 million. And no one was interested in him then. He comes back, scores a few goals, and suddenly big clubs are after him again. But we're determined to keep hold of him, although he does need to get back to match fitness and get back into the side to stop him getting in a sulk and starting to try and force through a move to somewhere like Arsenal. So let's get into this game. I imagine now I've talked up the new system, Arsenal are going to absolutely batter us today. It's the reason I think it worked so well against Man City is because they were playing a 4-2-3-1 and Fritsche just marked their attacking midfielder out of the game. Obviously today, Arendt's being rested. Today Arsenal play with a 4-3-3, so Fritsche's going to sit in this gap with nobody there. Hopefully he'll take care of Dybala, because Dybala has something like 11 goals in 8 games against us over the last few seasons. He just always scores against us. They've quite wisely put him against Lazarov, who's going to spend most of the match about here. So Fritsche's going to need to spend a lot of time drifting over there and trying to take care of Dybala. But let's get into the game. Right, come on lads, we want to win today. I would like to go into the second half of the season knowing that we can finally have a proper go at the Champions League finishing spots, which we've flirted with on occasions in the past, but never really put together a consistent push at. And it would be nice for this to be the season that we do that, because we're enjoying our little run in the Champions League. We've got the knockout rounds to look forward to. Oh, there you go. Lazarov gets the cross in, Full heads it home, and it looks like their goalkeeper's picked up an injury as well. That's exciting. Hopefully he's broken his finger or something, but for whatever reason they'll leave him on. That would be the ideal situation here. So Lazarov beats 2 men. I mean, look, they've got 2 men on him, and he still gets the cross in, and Full just nods it home. I love Ladislav Lazarov. I'm on the verge of ordering an Ipswich shirt with Lazaroff on the back. That will confuse them in the Ipswich club shop. Yeah, I'd like number 17 Lazaroff on it, please. Not anymore, because he's just scored an own goal. I thought Dybala had scored against us again, but the fact that that's gone down as an own goal means his goal is still coming, and yeah, that is just a Lazaroff own goal. It's because you think he doesn't want me to order a shirt. No, don't waste your money, Kev. Look, I'll score an own goal. Keep your money in your pocket. Will Leach looks like he's struggling as well, which is unfortunate because Walker Peters is suspended again for today's game, so we don't really have anyone who can come on if Leach does start to struggle a little bit more. I guess the option would be putting Fritscher out there at left back, but then obviously that takes him away from the anchorman position, which I guess Valverde would have to drop into, but we've not tried him there yet, so he might be rubbish at it. Right, here we go. Lazaroff with the corner. That feels like a penalty. That is a penalty. He took an awful long time to award that penalty. We still haven't scored a penalty for ages, though, so Yusuf steps up again. He missed his last one. Fingers crossed he won't miss again today. Hey, and it's 2-1 away against Arsenal. We've only had 36% possession, so this is... It's fair to say this is against the run of play. I have noticed since we've dropped Fritscher deep, we are having less possession than we used to. Obviously, we've only got the two men in central midfield now, so I don't like to think that we're bypassing midfield completely, but we're clearly not spending a lot of time with the ball. Vaughan finds Yusuf, who finds Lacio, and it's 3-1. What a goal from Lacio, who, when he scored a goal a couple of games ago, he'd gone back to the Kev hairstyle, but clearly he's thought, it's Arsenal. I'm on the telly. Let's go back to the Lacio for today. Although in the replay, he's clearly got the Kev, but then when we see his picture, he's back to the Lacio. I can't keep track of that man's hair. I think they're obviously using an old picture of him in the goal celebration photo, and in actual fact, he is sporting the Kev at the moment. Right, substitutions. We're going to bring on Mesidoro for Vaughan, and we're going to bring on Valverde for Chris. I am worried about Will Leach, but what do? I've got no one else who can play at left back. Probably, I don't know. We're just going to have to keep him on. He's not injured, he's just knackered. He's not played a massive amount this season. And Walker Peters should be fit again for the Paris Saint-Germain. Oh, he's not even injured. He'll be back again for the Paris Saint-Germain game. Arsenal have got one back, though. This is getting worrying. Now, what we did do against Man City, when they started to get back into the game with about 15 minutes to go, we actually went to like a midfield box. We brought Valverde on to play as a defensive midfielder alongside Fritscher for the last 10-15 minutes. Can't really do it today because I've made my substitutions too early, and Mesidoro doesn't really sit well as a central midfield player. I'm tempted to do it though because it did shut City out completely. So we did this, and then if we bring Mesidoro back, he can be the roaming playmaker. Yusuf can go box to box, and then we went defensive. We turned off overlap. We put on waste time, and that worked against City when they started to get back into the game late on. So fingers crossed it'll work again today. But again, because the camera's on, because you lot are watching, it'll all go wrong. That's just how these things work. Let's go contain for the last couple of minutes. Hopefully we're just going to shut the game out completely. If Arsenal score here, it's disgusting. They haven't, and we've kept our good run of form going. Who cares that we only got 36% possession? We've just picked up another win, and we're up to 5th place, 1 point behind Arsenal in that 4th place Champions League position. So all of a sudden, the league's starting to look rather pleasant. What we want now is a win against PSG, so we actually win our group in the Champions League as well. But I don't really rate our chances. Let's see how we get on. So, Paris Saint-Germain then. Now, part of me thinks we should rotate the squad a little bit in this game. We've already qualified for the knockout round of the Champions League, but I don't. We're overflowing with confidence at the moment. I don't want to go there and get absolutely battered. Plus, we're still bedding in this new system, so I'm going to go as full strength as I think I can probably get away with, which means there's only a couple of changes. We're bringing Walker Peters in for Leach because Leach is shattered after the last game, and Valverde comes in for Yusuf as the box-to-box midfield with Chris moving across to the roaming playmaker. Other than that, no changes. Christian Arendt still way, way away from match fitness, so I am going to be looking to bring him on midway through the second half. assuming the match situation allows for it. Yes, Yusuf's being rested. There we go. So, wow, that is a defensive-looking system. Now, does that mean they're scared of us, or does that mean they're just going to tactically destroy me with some counter-attack, and they know we're going to come at them and try and attack, so they're just going to sit there, soak up the pressure, and then just spring on us and keep scoring on the break? I guess it probably means the second one. I can't imagine they're afraid of us. They absolutely destroyed us in the first game between the two teams. So that formation scares me. I don't know how we're going to break that down. I mean, it covers all of our attacking strengths. There's basically two players on Lazarov, although he's completely free there, gets in behind. Can he get the crossover? He doesn't. He elects to shoot, and it was the wrong decision. But they should have two players covering him, although he was in masses of space there. Vaughan is marked. Our two central midfielders are marked. We've got three centre-backs taking care of the two strikers. I don't see how we get in and break down that side. So we'll just have to see. I guess this is a weird tie. We're playing as if we're the home team. They're playing as if they're the away team. We've already had two clear-cut chances. I'm pretty sure we've only seen one of them, unless both chances from that Lazarov attack counted. But that would be odd, because certainly the first one, his shot didn't seem like a clear-cut chance to me. It was from an awful angle, and he should have crossed the ball. As expected, there's not a lot happening. They're just sitting on, holding onto the ball, controlling possession. We're probably getting plenty of ball in our own half, but not putting any attacks together. So, I mean, they look like they're playing for a draw. I don't understand what's happening. A draw. I mean, I guess perhaps they're, as the more experienced side who only need to draw to win the group, they're probably just thinking, well, let's just not lose against these upstarts from England. We win the group. We don't need to overexert ourselves. They can't break us down. Look at that. They've got a flat back five there with a holding player in front of them. I mean, what on earth are we supposed to do about that? Do we think they're going to stay like this for the whole game, or are they going to come at us at some point and just go and nick a winner when we're tired from spending 70 minutes trying to break them down? Walker Peters with the interception, but everyone is so marked further forward. We need to make a change of some kind, but I have no idea what kind of change to make. They're in behind us here. That was the counter-attack that we were worried about, and luckily they didn't have any end product on it. What to do? I'll tell you what I am going to do. With 25 minutes to go, we're going to bring Christian Arendt on just to get some game time under his belt, so he can come on for Lazio. We have our two goal machines up front now, so if we do get any more half chances, we stand a chance of putting one away. What else should we do? Part of me is thinking just bring Yusuf on for Vaughan, just sit back the same way they are, try and play them at their own game. I mean, am I trying to get too tacticky by doing that? I'm thinking we do this and we actually go to that system we used late on in those last two games, but we do it as counter-attacking. So we're going to stick loads of men behind the ball as well and say to them, look, you're the home team. The onus is on you. We're going to sit back and invite you to attack us. Try and get the crowd on their back. I mean, this might massively backfire. Or I might have... tactics, all that. I'm trying to learn. They're still not coming at us, though, are they? We'll bring Thomas on for full. We'll stick Aaron up as the... In fact, no, we'll leave them as they were. I mean, this is just going to end as a 0-0, isn't it? Nothing's really happening. What an odd game. Yeah, it's just gonna trickle away to nothing. Are we going to get... Oh, here's a highlight, and we're attacking. But they've got the ball back. They're going to hit us on the counter while we're trying to counter them, aren't they? This isn't good. I mean, both teams are playing with 8 men behind the ball. They're going to get a goal here, though. We're somehow really outnumbered. I don't understand how this is happening, but they're in. Two good saves from Matt Lee, but they're still at us, and they've got a corner. If they score now, it's too late for us to do anything about it. And because we're playing so defensively, we've got no one to get onto that. And they've got another corner. They are coming at us. We just need to get the break. It's whether or not we can get the break. They're still playing with so many men behind the ball, though. This again, I've talked about naivety in the Champions League before. I'm not used to this. This is a tactical masterclass, and Matt Lee has picked up a knock, and that could be a real worry. going into the... Oh, he's hurt his arm as well. Going into the Christmas period where there's going to be lots of games. Let's just see what's up with Matt Lee. Oh, this isn't good. We've still got Goddard knocking around, or Garrett. I still don't know his name. I think it's Garrett, not Goddard. I should change his name. Right, what's up with him? Okay, sprained wrist. Couple of weeks. How many games does that mean he's going to miss? He's going to miss the Liverpool game and the Southampton game. So hopefully Garrett's not injured, and I haven't noticed. No, so Garrett can get a couple of games. And hopefully we'll keep our Premier League run going. That Champions League game, really confusing. When is the draw for the next round? Yeah, we don't... press conference, my eye. Is that all we get? Oh, that's for a draw. Surely we get a big sack of cash for qualifying for the next round. Where is the draw? Oh, the draw's not until after the Liverpool game. Well, the draw will be a surprise then, because I'm not going to stick another game in. That's madness. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the continuation of our Champions League run. And thank you very much for watching.